Hello there, I'm Vigalius, and welcome to the birth of it all, to Halo CE Combat Evolved, in case you didn't realise, the big birth of quite possibly my favourite universe in narrative history. I love it more than I love Star Wars, and I'm just going to give you my lunch money now, because that was the nerdiest thing I've ever said. I love CE to death, I really do, but to me it will always be the flawed masterpiece in the series. We're getting into the big boys now. We're getting into the OG trilogy, the OG Bungie trilogy. This has the highest rating on Metacritic, and I don't necessarily disagree. And I think that this game is bewilderingly brilliant. I think it's utterly enchanting, and I love it to death. It just has a lot of issues. Some of them are because of when it was made, and some of them are just like a couple of design issues here and there that I'm not overly happy with. And it's tough because I'm opening with this and I'm saying that I don't like certain things about this game, and I will say it's not my favorite Halo game, but man, this game is utterly tremendous, better than Reach. I think it's a complete masterpiece. It's just like a couple of things are a little bit annoying, you know, like the tank combat is so janky. Being able to hijack vehicles in Halo 2 was such a revelation and so needed from CE. Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Hey, what's up, dude? Wait, no, I want that thing. No, I want the ghost. I want the ghost. Where am I? Oh, this is bullshit. But I think the biggest issue for me is not in terms of gameplay. I love the gameplay in this game to death. My biggest issue is the backtracking in this game and the repeated assets, and just going through the same hall after the same hall after the same hall after the same hall in this game did become very overwhelming. Something I addressed in Halo 2, and I know a lot of people like the backtracking and going back through the missions, but I want to address that now. That's the only issue I have with this game. But aside for that, Mike, what a beautiful game this is. I must say, the biggest compliment I can give this game is that the world building is some of the best I've ever seen. And this is bearing in mind that the game was made in 2001, but this universe begs exploration, begs delving deeper, better than most other games I've ever played. I just want to be that, and I just want to be uncovering things and learning things and unearthing every nook and cranny in the game, which is crazy because it's a linear FPS. And what's even crazier is, if you've never played this game, I beg of you, the first time you play it, please don't play it in the remastered graphics. Any Halo fan would tell you that, but for me, it's a weird situation, and this is one of the reasons it's so enchanting to me and so fascinatingly phenomenal to me, is that I think like the low texture count by today's standard is part of the reason this game is so magical and so brilliant, because it's kind of like, it's what I would consider the treasure map syndrome, where it's like a treasure map is more interesting if it doesn't tell you exactly where the treasure is, if the corner's are frayed a little bit, or if there are tears in the treasure map and you have to like kind of hold it up, you know, in a certain place to figure out exactly where it is. That adds mystery and makes it a lot more interesting and gets the fire burning, gets the blood boiling. And when you lack those textures and you lack like answers using visual language, then yeah, it feels detrimental. But in a game like this, it just feels as though there's so much to uncover, and particularly in terms of the narrative. You know, the narrative marries up with this sense a lot, because they don't tell you everything. All they tell you is that the journey is tremendously important for the other race, and then they give you a story that can be picked apart and expanded upon, and you know, elastic, and you know, what's here, what's there, what does this mean, what does that mean. They give you that story that really begs extra depth, and then they just tell you, and this matters a lot to the enemy, and you want to know why it matters a lot to the enemy. You want to know what it is that could matter. You want to know what it is they're keeping from you. You want to know what's here, what's there, what's everywhere. Why can I teleport? Why does it matter? What is the icon? You know, why is this called a library? What's around the corner in this library? Why are these? What are those symbols on the wall? What does that mean? Why does this look like Earth? Why? Well, it does look like Earth, but it's slightly off. What are these constructions? Why is there this like organic place that I've landed on within a non-organic atmosphere on a non-organic plane? And why are there non-organic buildings? Why is there grass and these what do those buildings mean? Why is that one built into the ground? This structure doesn't look man-made. Light bridges? And what are those floating things over there? And these questions just continue and continue and continue and continue. And just when you think it's done, you get the introduction of the Flood, which is masterfully dealt with. You're plopped into this world. Everything is so foggy, so mysterious. You don't really know what's going on. What am I doing here? Something weird has happened. And you slowly see this trail of bodies, thinking, huh? And then you delve deeper and deeper into the circles of hell. You know, you go through these elevators and they just push you down, down and down, further away from escape, trying to figure out what's going on in this mysterious world where you're confused and you don't know. And then BAM! A whole new enemy, a mysterious faction. And that, I think that embodies exactly what's so brilliant about this game. Why I think this game is so incredible, because the atmosphere, the world building, the storytelling, and above all else, above everything else, the mystery was just so enchanting in this game, to where, you know, I played it a few years after it came back and I was just completely fascinated. I remember I played the demo of it on the PC, and it was the Silent Cartographer. And I ran out, drove around the ring world, and you know, I didn't know where to go, I didn't know where I was going, and then I finally figured it out, and it's the one where you go into that underground, like, Forerunner base, and I went into it and I thought, what the hell is, I was just on a beach, what is this, what's going on, what am I turning, what the hell is that? And I had so many questions, and I adore that about this game. I absolutely adore it. And again, you know, on top of that, despite the retracing, a lot of retracing and, you know, backpedaling and stuff like that, the mission design here is excellent. This is the best open world mission design in the entire series. I don't care what anyone says. In terms of creating big spaces that don't feel overwhelming, they absolutely nailed it straight off the block. How they did this back then, I have no idea. How you don't just like end up getting lost and bored and confused in these giant worlds is beyond me, but they did it. The gameplay, it follows that, you know, chess style gameplay where it's, you have to pack the right weapon, you have to use it correctly and be ahead of your enemy on what they're doing. You need to know what they're going to do next. That's why everything is so exaggerated to like cue that attack and what will your response be. And I love that style of gameplay, and I think it works immaculately here. And I think it says it all that this game was made so long ago, and yet I still go back to it and I still have a great time playing it. And I think, oddly enough, as weird as it sounds, I think the fact that putting it in 60 FPS made the game so much better really says a lot positively. I think it's a very good thing that that's the case, because it's like, oh hey, this is how good the gameplay is, that when it's smoother you experience a more sort of true to life version of this gameplay and you love it, and it's absolutely excellent. And the fact that there's vehicle combat in this giant planes, that's tremendous. Like I said, it's a flawed masterpiece. There are a lot of issues here, but I can easily forget them, and I do. I always forget the flaws. I ignore them. I'm able to, and they mean nothing to me, because this game is just such a special game. So let's have a look at the score. That's right. That's right. How could it not be? And I'll see everyone later.
The PlayStation is only $149, and you can also get leading titles.